Welcome in 2021. Time for a new episode and a new perspective on product development. Our today's guest is Tomasz Niezgoda, who is a co-founder at Surfer, a SaaS tech company. He has experience working in product, marketing, and SEO, so it makes for a perfect combination to explore both the backstage of product development, but also the marketing angle. Tomasz, it's a real pleasure to have you here with us. You're a co-founder of Surfer, a tech company, and you developed a great product. But could you tell us a little bit more about what the company does?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, thanks for having me here.
Sure.
It's a really pleasure to talk with you. In a nutshell, Surfer is a on-page SEO/content creation tool, which is dedicated to everyone who wants to rank higher on Google. We have 5 major products that can help you with finding keywords, optimizing your existing articles/pages, creating optimized content, and also planning a content strategy across your domain for upcoming weeks or sometimes even months.
Great. I saw the website and I have to say I'm very impressed. And judging from the way you speak about the company, you're really, really excited about the product. And I have to say, it looks amazing. And it's great to see this great energy coming from you. So given your experience and in marketing, but especially in SEO, how can you transfer that knowledge from the marketing perspective and SEO into developing a great product?
Yeah, it's a great question. So actually directly, because I was an SEO for a while, and in Surfer we build tools that we can't or couldn't find anywhere else, or tools that work much differently than those who are already on the market. So, for example, our recent extremely important tool, Content Planner. In the past, it took me, dozens or maybe hundreds of hours to create a content plan for the domain based on the topic clustering idea.
Right.
And we decided to create a tool that can do the hardest part of this job, the monkey job, for us. And it's like saving sometimes days, but most often weeks of work, which is not satisfying at all. And with this save time, with this save time, I can focus on much more creative tasks. And let me add something here. I'm really proud that we add the value to the entire chain. And look, SEO save time, right?
Yeah.
They can be focused on more creative tasks. Their clients get better results because the work is done and they have time for more creative tasks. Their clients have more money because they are much more visible in Google, etc., etc. And people who are searching for the services or products are getting much better results. And we cut the small percentage of this increased value and use that money to further innovate, to deliver better products, to deliver new products. So the circle is closing, and I'm really proud of this, how it works. And it's based on the experience of SEO or marketing, right?
Right. It's amazing that it helps every single person that's involved in the process, and from the client perspective to the actual user perspective and to also your company perspective. Could you tell us how long did it take to develop this particular tool?
So Surfer at the beginning was an internal tool in Sławek Czajkowski's agency, and it was, sounds different than how it looks like right now. It was just a coloration tool. It compares, hundreds of factors from search engine result pages and shows that, numbers on the graphs, and you as an SEO was able to, look for some kind of coloration. As we know, coloration is not a causation, so it was still a really time-consuming task to find those factors that might potentially improve your rankings. But it all started in 2016 as an internal tool. Then it was 1 year of creating a beta version with open access. Then it has been released. And in 2018, if I remember this correctly, in October 2018, we started to selling the product. We created our first packages. We integrated with Stripe and started collecting payments. So it's a really fresh company. It's just 2 years.
But fresh and very successful, as we know. Great. And so, judging from your experience, what skills would you say, or maybe teams or assets, are necessary to develop a successful product company? Isn't it a little bit like maybe a growth hacker role, but for every single thing?
So at the beginning, definitely. Being a growth hacker, everyone in the team being a growth hacker, we had to handle everything by ourselves. Building products, selling it, doing marketing, taking care of customers, paper job taxes, accounting, and many others. But over time, we were able to hire experts that are specialized in some fields, and there's no reason for us right now to take care of everything by ourselves. We can delegate. However, it was a really big challenge for me to start thinking about delegating, saying no, etc.
Because it's like giving your baby to someone you don't really know.
Yes, exactly. It was really difficult for me, and I was, involved into everything. I was trying to, do this, do that, taking care of this and that, and it turned out that I was working for 12 hours, and I wasn't able to deliver 100% of the quality of my work. It wasn't just possible to do that, but fortunately, I had a really great luck to learn from much more experienced people. Like our CEO and my colleague Sławek Czajkowski, or our CTO and my colleague too, Lucian Suski, and it is an amazing experience to not just build the product, build the tool, have a great results behind the business, but also to improve myself. If I'm talking just from my perspective, but hopefully we are improving all of the team members. We are improving each other all the day.
Really, really exciting. So it sounds like a great energy when you work with a team that's so positive and so motivated to do better and to improve themselves, but also to let go of the micromanagement that can sometimes stall the creative process.
Oh yeah, this is one of the most popular challenges for the companies to get rid of micromanagement, and I think that hiring experts, hiring really people that are experienced, and also they are creative, they are motivated, and you can trust them. It's the best cure for this problem, because they are showing you every day that they can solve the problems for themselves. If they have some problems, they ask for help, and the culture in the company that you can ask for help, but if you don't want to other people to be involved in solving the problem, you are sure that you can do this for your own, and you want to do this you can do this for your own. It's really good thing, and I believe that it's one of the things that made Surfer so successful, because people are really independent here.
Great. So you said you delegate. Does that mean that you work with agencies outside of the company, or
no? No, but we have some freelancers that are working with us for particular projects. For example, we have a freelance designer who is helping us with some marketing activities.
I see.
But when I was saying delegating, I meant asking for taking care of some parts of our business to people who are already working in the company.
Great. So what kind of product are you currently working on?
To be precise, I'm a member of the marketing team, and however, the product team is working on the new iterations of the content planner I just mentioned at the beginning of our discussion. New dashboards. It's a really something. It's really painful for us, because we had for a long time a really big problem with newcomers, with users who see the app for the first time and they didn't check our tutorials. They were not pre-boarded or even not onboarded to the product, etc. And they just, see something that they don't understand, and they just, leave the app. They didn't want to check it once again, and it was a really big problem for us. So we decided to show our features in a more prominent ways, and right now we are rethinking our dashboard, the main dashboard, the first thing you see in the app, to make it much more user friendly, and also to be able to scale even bigger in the future, right? So we'll be open for new markets, new personas, new clients that want to see something, directly when they sign up for the product. And our data science team is working on exciting algorithms, new libraries, for example, for natural language processing, which we already have in Surfer, but it's limited by Google. We use Google NLP API tool, and it's limited for 12 languages. So we want to deliver something that will be working on, dozens of languages, including Polish. And they are exploring totally new ways of pages monitoring, which is also a big thing for SEOs, to have, the knowledge why their pages, are improving in the rankings or they are dropping. They are, they get a notification when the for example, the competitor did something in the right way and they improve the rankings. So we will be able to probably send the notification to our client. Look, this page improved because they add this and that to the structure. So maybe consider doing the same way.
Right, that's fascinating, really. So could you tell us a little bit more about the people behind the process? So how your product team looks like, how many people do you have in customer service, marketing, sales, and what is the structure of Surfer?
Yeah, so we could record a separate video about the teams in Surfer. Those people are incredible, and I'm extremely happy to work with them. I'm proud of it. But when we are talking, Surfer is a 23-person company, and I even created a note about that to be precise. So let me just find the numbers. Yeah. So we have 2 product designers, 2 customer support specialists, 5 people in a marketing team, 2 data scientists, 8 developers, including 1 DevOps. We have Michał Suski, who is a separate company, and as Sławek, they are split between marketing and product teams because they are really experienced SEOs. They have dozens of ideas for the products, and they are coordinating the work of developers and product designers when we create new products, or maybe we do iterations to existing ones. We have also office manager Olga and our awesome CFO and personally my great friend Kazik. But I promised him that I will greet him. So here's
to Kazik. Hello, Kazik. Perfect.
Yeah.
Great. So I have to say it's quite maybe unpopular to have you have a quarter of the team basically devoted to marketing, and as a product company, I think that's not something you see quite often, because sometimes these product companies are strictly focusing on creating great products and sometimes leave the marketing angle kind of, not fully touched. So it's great to see, and I think it shows that you pay a lot of attention to marketing, and it's developed in such a great way.
Yeah, we are trying. We are trying. We we did, and we are doing our best to complement our product with good marketing, with the good resources, good tutorials, good videos, good vibe of the company. We are trying to be as open as possible and transparent. We have a great network of people who are I can say that they are early adopters, but also some kind of evangelists that
Yeah.
and yes, fans too, and they are because they have a really strong connection with us. They motivate us. They share their ideas for the products. They also finally help us promote Surfer because they are sharing Surfer with their friends on their timelines on LinkedIn or Facebook, etc. And the network is really big. And when, for example, we see some kind of polls on Facebook groups, what is the best on-page tool on the market, right? And when I'm looking for this poll, and I see faces, I see people who are our friends, who we have a chance to drink a beer with them, and Surfer is the winner of this poll just because of those people, and of course because of the people, but of course also because of the product, which is good. So sorry for this
No, it's
long
great.
story.
It's great because it means that actually people enjoy the product and it's useful and they want to spread the word. And I think it's a testament that word of mouth is still the
Yes.
truest and the best form
Or
of marketing
totally,
there is, and the most authentic
totally.
one. Great.
Yes.
So now I'm curious, could you tell us about your work routine and how do you manage your day? Do you have, as a co-founder, any maybe scenarios, for example, daily meetings or weekly briefings? How do you run your workday?
So as a co-founder, not really. Sometimes we plan things together, talk about goals, some high-level perspective, goals for the company for upcoming, year, for example. But it's not a part of any rhythm or routine. However, in a marketing team, we have a weekly meetings when we think about our priorities for upcoming week, and also sometimes we discuss high-level things like big tasks that needs more time than 1 week. So it's a part of a rhythm. But as I said, I'm a part of this marketing team. So the Carolina Gavron is a head here, and she keeps things in the right place.
I
She is
see.
responsible for managing us in a good way. She is doing notes. She uses we as a company use Notion, but she's using the Notion to specify tasks, to do
Right.
all of the planning, etc. But personally, I as a member of this company have a lot of one-to-one calls related to specific tasks and activities.
Great. And now for the process backstage. How does it look at Surfer, the product development and implementation process? Could you run us through the steps of how you usually work?
Yes. So it's kind of the same way as it used to be. So we create tools that doesn't exist on the market, or tools that work much differently. So
But how do you come up with those ideas? Do you have your analytics team that does the research, or maybe you ask your existing
in this way.
clients for needs? How do you come up with what's really missing in the market and what's the sweet spot that you need to hit?
Okay. Oh, I understand now. So most often it's still our experience. We will be able to create a list of maybe hundreds of features that we want to create because it was painful for us in the past,
Right.
and you can't find the solutions for that still on the market. So we have a really great roadmap for features, but right now we have to manage existing user base. We have to manage the app infrastructure,
Right.
and also we have to think about the biggest the tools that will have the biggest potential effect for our growth. So it happens that someone watched the presentation and thought about automating something. Someone had a real life problem and couldn't find a solution, or of course users suggested something in an email on our group, or for example we were searching Facebook groups, and someone puts the idea for the product. There were a great discussion from hundreds of SEO specialists around the globe, and we thought that okay, so maybe we can do this. And we have a discussion. We have a product call. We discuss things, and we change our. For example, we change our priorities, and we create this. We create the product.
And then with the further development and implementation, what's the role of each team and how does the process look like? Is it a step-by-step waterfall method, or you do like sprints? How do you organize it?
Most often it all starts with a great conversation about what the product can help you with. Then the design team is thinking about how to show those things. They are doing a research. They are trying to figure out how we can show the data that we've been talking about. In the same time, the product team, developers, are thinking about how to implement this, how to create the working feature. Michał and Sławek are working on the scope of the application. What has to be an outcome of using this tool, and somehow it happens that it's a work that it's done in the same time, in real time. And after a few weeks, we came up with the working prototype. We start to showing it to our early adopters, to our customers. They are sharing their feedback. We are doing internal tests, and over the weeks, we are improving it. We are releasing things in the 80-20 rule. We are delivering everything really fast to have feedback as fast as possible. And then we are iterating, we are prototyping, we are showing new iterations. The clients are sharing the feedback, and we are, releasing a full product to the whole audience of people. And also we do a marketing stuff around this.
Great, such a fantastic teamwork. And you yourself, you're very experienced in marketing and especially in SEO. So could you tell us a little bit more, how did you build your marketing strategy around Surfer, and maybe what elements worked best so far?
So the building strategy for a company like Surfer is really difficult because first thing first, we are a bootstrapped company. We had to test many things with low budgets on the Polish market. We scale up. We created a few strategies that worked well. We thought that, okay, so it's working in Poland. So when we will be able to, scale up those activities on the foreign markets, like for example in the US, it will work as well as in Poland, right? But no, it wasn't that easy. So we had to, change the strategy across new things that came up to us. We've been working with paid channels, paid acquisition. We created a really great network of influencers that are in love with Surfer. They are helping us build the awareness. They created dozens of reviews, really positive reviews. They have even courses or video series on YouTube based on Surfer's approach. So They are helping us to promote Surfer. We are in touch with them. We, for example, can help them with scraping some kind of data exclusively for them, and they are also our affiliates. I'm personally responsible for managing the whole Surfer's affiliate program, which is a really good motor for our growth. We create dozens of videos, tutorials, articles, blog posts. Content marketing itself is working extremely well. When we, for example, create a blog post on it's a guest post for a separate company, and they share it with their audience. It's a totally new audience, and if they see a value, if they see that our numbers are helpful for them, the analysis we create are helpful for them, they are trying us, right? So the content marketing is really, I would say that content marketing, networking, those two things affected the growth that we had and we are having.
And great, it sounds like a very organic process still, that it kind of happens, you don't really have to force it, but people really respond well to the product,
Yes.
and you don't really need to push things, but it kind of spreads organically and on its own.
Yes.
Also because it's a great product after all, so that's why I guess.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that if you have a good product, it's always like organic growth, once a month growth, etc. But you can of course accelerate it in a good way. For example, we are using paid channels like we are using Facebook ads for promoting new things or doing a remarketing with our resources. For example, we have a campaign for people who sign up for a trial, and we show them ads with articles, right? So it's really soft. We don't push anyone with ads like, it's a limited offer or something like that. Of course, it happened, for example, during the Black Friday, but it's not an ongoing campaign. So we promote content with Twitter ads, Facebook ads, YouTube ads. We try to promote everything we create, because as we know, the organic reach is really limited because of the ads that has to be displayed in the walls of people, right? Timelines, I mean.
So if you could give advice to a fellow product company that still maybe kind of shies away from marketing or doesn't really know how to do it, is there any golden rule that you need to abide by, or maybe something just, welcoming words that could work for product companies?
Yeah, so I think that those strategies that we that they worked well for us will be also working well for another product companies, definitely. I would say that the most crucial thing is to stay in touch with your customers, listen them, talk with them, climb as much feedback as possible, and be responsible for this relationship. You have to show them that you care about them. If user sends you a feedback, just don't just say thank you so much for this feedback and we'll never come back to this man or the lady. You have to show that you care. For example, in Surfer, we have a separate document with the feedback, and we always put the email address from people who send the feedback, or a link to their Facebook account, or even link to the post where this person shared the feedback. And when we implement changes, when we create a fix for this problem, or we created a new product, we inform them. We are really thankful. We are really thankful. We try to, as I said at the beginning, we are responsible for this relationship. The customer is for us, not we are for him, right? And so be responsible for the relationship that you have with clients, listen them, and also try to be as transparent as possible, because people love that. And also attention to the little details, I think, really shines through your strategy, and I think that's why it's also a successful component of the overall marketing strategy. Great. So we talked more about the positive things, but I'm sure the process of creating the product was a lot of ups and downs. So could you tell us a little bit more, what were the biggest challenges while developing the product? Oh, yeah. As you said, there are dozens of ups and downs, and the scaling of the company was definitely the biggest challenge for us. And rapid growth, causes a lot of challenges related to app infrastructure, communication across the teams. It was, personally, I think it was the biggest challenge to handle the communication around the company, because we used to work in a 5-people team. Then we have 6 people. Then we have 7 people for a long time. For more than 1 year, we've been a 7-person company. So we didn't have a separate teams. All of the communication was happening directly on the general channels on Slack, for example. We have a calls where all of us participated. And the scaling of the company causes a lot of communication problems. We, had to rethink all of that. But fortunately, I believe that we get rid of this problem right now.
Great.
I mean, as I said, we are a 23-person company. I think that when we'll become a 50-people company, the new problems will come. So we have to be aware of that, and we try to be flexible, but also learn from our mistakes from the past. We read a lot of books, we listen podcasts, we watch courses, we watch presentations from people who were in a similar situation.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Yeah, been and done that, but not so long ago, like not 10 years ago, but for example 1 year ago. You can grow, like for example Surfer, 5 or even 6 times year to year. So we want to listen people that were in our shoes. It's much different when you have a growth like this in just 1 year, or if you have a growth split between 5 years. And so we are still figuring it out, and I'm aware that more problems will come in the future.
Yeah, I definitely read somewhere that if you double in size as a company, you need to totally reorganize the way things work and how you build the infrastructure on roles and teams. So I'm happy that you managed to successfully overcome that, and you're growing and creating even better products without the friction of scaling up right now, as you said. Of course, there's always some, but as you said, I think you're past the biggest biggest hill. But was there a particular moment that you would call, shit, that was a total fuck up on our side? And maybe not if you could take back time and you would do things differently, but also I think biggest fuck up means the biggest lesson learned. So was there such a moment during the process?
Yes. So definitely it happened this year. I will be talking just about me. I had my personal fuck up, and COVID pandemic changed all my plans for this year. I was supposed to travel to meet people around the globe to build the sales across big companies, win up the sales and networking. But as we all know, it wasn't possible due to forbidden flights, COVID, etc. And probably it wouldn't be that painful for me if I would be able to manage it earlier. Like, if I would have a plan B for the year, or I would be more flexible. I lost 1 month of rethinking my priorities for this year, and it's a month. It's a lot of time, and I'm sure that I was able to use this time in a better way. But also on the second hand, on another hand, it was a really great lesson for me, and it changed me, and I started to become a better team player. I started to plan things in I would say in a more flexible way, to be able to, for example, change the plans in just 1 week for the next year if we will have a second pandemic of another virus or something, right?
So now you're ready for it all.
I hopefully not. It's good to have a plan B for every occasion.
Yeah, but I think that being so much out of your comfort zone because of not knowing what's to come, like as you said, like really changed your perspective, and now you are equipped with better skills maybe, and for handling a lot of situations with a lot of unknowns. And I think that's a great preparation for the environment that we are now in. So also being better equipped means relying on some useful tools, and we product and marketing people, we love tools. So is there anything specific that you could recommend that you use?
Yes, definitely. I'm using on the daily basis three tools. I'm using Surfer, I'm using Ahrefs, and I'm using Figma. And Figma is something that blows my mind every day. I'm, opening this files, etc. It's collaborative tool that makes possible to work on this in the same time on separate projects for thousands of people. You are able to export things in a matter of seconds. You can edit them. You can be flexible with your ideas. It's an amazing tool, and I'm using it every day. So I can recommend for everyone who is still using Photoshop, Illustrator, and other similar tools, you can switch to Figma. It's a time saver. It's something that's changing. It's changing over time. They are really fast with exploring new products, with delivering and exploring new products. And I'm a big fan of the company itself. They are, releasing great resources, much better than I can see, for example, on the Adobe YouTube channel, etc.
Okay, great. So now to finish off and wrap up, a little walk down the memory lane. You've been in business and marketing for a couple of years now. Is there any advice you would give to your younger self that was just starting out that you know now and that could really help you?
Oh yeah, definitely. So maybe it will sound trivial, but don't stop
No
learning.
such thing. No such thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't stop learning. I'm talking to my younger me, but also to everyone who is in charge of doing a business, or they are thinking about starting a business, or they a career on some companies. Be helpful, be kind to people, but also in the same time challenging. People love challenges, and if you will be too kind for people, they won't get what you have in mind. They won't get any lessons
sauce,
from
yeah.
making a project, etc. If you think that something was fucked up, just tell this, share the feedback, right? You can do this in the kind way, but be open with that. Be trust people, and be open with all of the information you have in mind. So explore possibilities. It's connected with not stop learning, and absolutely don't believe that something is set in stone. You don't have to follow others, and even if the market is crowded with a lot of similar tools, there's still space for some innovations. You can be better. You can do things in a better way, and just don't believe that something is set in stone.
Tomasz, thank you so much for finding the time for us. We are always inspired to learn new insights from various product founders. We are keeping our fingers crossed for Surfer's development and world domination. And you guys, thank you so much for watching. Share your thoughts with us, and maybe there is someone you wish us to invite for the next episode. So let us know, and don't forget to subscribe our channel. See you soon. Bye.